Tom's life started out as unremarkable as anyone else's. He went through high school and college, dated a few girls, and had his fair share of heartbreaks. After finishing school, he settled into a steady job and found a mundane routine. But as the years went by, Tom found himself growing increasingly dissatisfied with his life. He couldn't shake the nagging feeling that there had to be more to life than this. It was during this time of discontentment that Tom discovered. At first, it seemed as a harmless way to blow off steam and escape his humdrum existence. He would spend hours browsing adult websites, seeking out more and more explicit material to satisfy his growing desires. As his addiction grew, so did his dependence on masturbation. It became his primary source of pleasure and release. What Tom didn't realize was that there was a gradual mental decline that was happening, as one's sharp mind became dull, consumed by sexual fantasies and an insatiable need for self-gratification. He started to lose focus at work, making careless mistakes and struggling to keep up with responsibilities. His friendships began to suffer as well, and he became more withdrawn and less interested in socializing. As Tom's addiction to pornography and masturbation deepened, it started to take a toll on his romantic life. His skewed perception of women and sex, fueled by the endless stream of explicit content he consumed, left him unable to connect with his partners on a deeper level. Intimacy became a chore, and sex was no longer a passionate, loving experience. Instead, it was reduced to a mechanical act, devoid of emotion and connection. His girlfriends, sensing the growing distance, eventually left him one by one, their hearts broken by Tom's inability to be fully present in a relationship. Tom, lost to his addiction, barely noticed their departures. He continued to seek solace in his online fantasies and the temporary relief of masturbation. Eventually, Tom decided it was time to get back out there and meet new women, but his addiction had taken a toll on his self-confidence, leaving him anxious and unsure of himself. He stumbled through awkward conversations, struggling to make eye contact and maintain a connection. You see, his reliance on had robbed him of his ability to form genuine connections with women, and his attempts to find a new partner were met with repeated failure. The saddest part of Tom's story was that he didn't even realize the extent of the damage his addiction had caused. He was blind to the fact that his compulsive masturbation, consumption of had slowly eroded his mental health, his relationships, and self-esteem. It wouldn't be until he hit rock bottom that Tom finally understood the need to confront his addiction and seek help. Now let's talk about you. Have you ever stopped to think about how your own habits might be affecting your life? Just like Tom, you might be experiencing negative effects from compulsive masturbation. That's probably why you clicked on this video. It's time to wake up and realize that the impact your actions are having on your life are severe. They're big and unignorable. Let's dive into the reasons why releasing semen is detrimental to your well-being. Reason number 1, the effect on mental health, motivation, ambition, and energy. Listen up, bud, because this is important. You've been told masturbation's healthy, right? Well, let me tell you the truth. It's not that simple. The way you're doing it, compulsively and fueled by is tearing your life apart. When you're addicted to and compulsive masturbation, your brain gets flooded with dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical that rewards you for doing something pleasurable, drives you to do that thing again. But when you're constantly chasing that high, your brain becomes desensitized to the dopamine, making it harder and harder for you to feel pleasure from other, healthier activities. Even masturbation has diminishing returns, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you. This can lead to depression, anxiety, and an overall feeling of emptiness. You are trapped in a vicious cycle, and it's destroying your mental health. Now let's talk about energy. You think that quick release feels good? Well, let me tell you, it's costing you so much more than you realize. Every time you spunk, your body expends a massive amount of energy to produce sperm and seminal fluid. It takes time and resources to replenish those supplies. And when you're constantly draining your yogurt snake through masturbation, you're leaving yourself depleted. No energy means no motivation or ambition. That means that you're not chasing your dreams or living the life that you deserve. Think about it. You're sabotaging your own success. Your constant need for release is sapping your energy. Do you feel peppy, ready to go after you nut? Or do you want to take a nap? It means you're not performing at your best in your work, your relationships, or your personal pursuits. You're settling for mediocrity because you're too exhausted to reach for something better. Let's not forget about the impact of your relationships. When you're addicted to your perception of women and sex becomes twisted and unrealistic. You start to see women as objects for your own pleasure, rather than as individuals with their own thoughts, feelings, and desires. This dehumanizing mindset makes it difficult to form genuine connections, and your relationships will suffer as a result. So, my friend, take a good, hard look at yourself. Are you really living the life you want? Or are you letting your addiction to compulsive masturbation hold you back? Choice is yours. You can continue down this destructive path, or you can take control of your life and break free from the chains of your addiction. Won't be easy, but rewards are worth it. Better mental health, more energy, a life filled with purpose and passion. The choice really is in your hands. Listen, by watching these videos, I know you aren't one of those losers who think they already know everything. Even if you've only watched one video on this channel, you still clicked on it, and that shows that you have a fire inside of you to start improving. You already showed the willpower. The only thing you need is a path. I've put down 10 modules which you can see as ladders. Every module or ladder will exactly explain to you step by step how to get to the top. From achieving peak masculinity, advanced testosterone optimization, getting women, mastering the game of exchanging value, to actual money-making methods, and even more. I have literally laid the groundwork for you to become jacked, attractive, rich, and of high social status. You don't lack motivation. You just lack the knowledge and trust in the path that you're taking. You can continue messing around in the never-ending cycle of taking paths that lead to nothing, or click the link in the description down below. Reason 2. Lack of confidence and feelings of regret. Listen, man, because this is about to get real. When you're constantly sneaking off to find pleasure all by your lonesome, your self-esteem takes a massive hit. You know deep down that it's not something to be proud of, that there's a guilt and a shame that starts to eat away at you and you're kind of ignoring it. You feel regret, and it gnaws at your confidence like a relentless beast. You might not notice it at first, but soon you're struggling to maintain eye contact, stumbling through conversations, and wondering why people aren't drawn to you like they used to be. Truth is, your self-inflicted shame is pushing them away. Your relationships and your social life are suffering, more than likely, and it's all because you can't break free from the shackles of your own impulses. Reason 3. Terrible or non-existent sex life. Now let's get to the heart of that matter, your sex life, or lack thereof. Compulsion to masturbation is often a symptom of a deeper problem, a lack of connection and love in your life. Instead of seeking out meaningful relationships, you're taking the easy way out, turning to self-gratification for a quick fix instead of ponying up and getting out there and asking people questions like, hey, want a date? But let me tell you, that fix comes at a high price. Over time, your sex life goes from mediocre to downright depressing as you become more focused on your fantasies than on building genuine connections with others. You're living in a world of make-believe, and it's leaving you isolated and unfulfilled. Wake up! It's time to face reality. Your addiction to masturbation is destroying your confidence, your relationships, your sex life. How many times I gotta say it, man? It's not too late to turn things around, though. But you do need to make a choice. Will you continue down this path of self-destruction, or will you take control of your life and fight for something better? Once again, my friends, the choice is yours, but remember, the longer you wait, the harder it is to break free. Reason 4. Physical health and vitality. This might come as a shock to you, but your compulsive habit of releasing semen is taking a serious toll on your physical health. Every time you ejaculate, you're not only releasing semen, but also losing vital nutrients and minerals. These nutrients, such as zinc, calcium, and protein, are crucial for maintaining your overall vitality and well-being. Over time, this constant depletion of nutrients can weaken your immune system, leaving you vulnerable to illness and disease. You might find yourself catching colds more often or struggling longer to recover from a workout. Your body is sending you a message, and you need to listen, bud. It's time for some good, tough love. Some good self-tough love. Take a good, hard look at your life. And being honest with yourself, I gotta tell you, you already know it's one of the hardest things to do. So when I ask you, be honest. Are you like Tom, caught in a downward spiral that's slowly draining your energy, ambition, and self-worth? You don't have to let this destructive habit control you. Recognize the negative effects of releasing too much semen. and take steps to break free from the grip of compulsive masturbation. Grip of compulsive masturbation, wink wink. Your journey to recovery will not be easy, but it's worth it. It's worth every ounce of tears, blood, sweat, and pain. I know it's dramatic for just withholding from something, but it is worth it. Start by educating yourself and implement healthier habits into your daily routine, and most importantly, hide the distractions that can lead to a relapse. And I'm gonna drill this in for the 4th time. Gonna get it through your thick skull. The choice is yours. Doesn't always feel like a choice. Sometimes it feels like we just do what we do because it's what we do, and we're stuck in a routine. But the choice is always yours. Are you willing to take control and fight for a better, healthier future? Or will you let your addiction consume you, leaving you trapped in a cycle of regret and self-destruction? Choose wisely, because the stakes couldn't be higher.